All right, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, whoever you may be. Whoever you may be, to I say Shalom, Yeshua, Shalom. All right, we're back into the book of Joshua. All right, in chapter 19. We're almost through. It's 24 chapters, so we almost there. All right. So it says territory of Simeon. All right. So where we last stopped, Joshua was up in age and so on and so forth. And he was mentioning there were still, I think he said 7 tribes that haven't yet received their inheritance. And so that's what these chapters right here are covering. These last, several, or not last several, because it's not actually all of the final chapters, but the last few that we've gone over. All right. Those other tribes receiving their lands. Okay. So it says, Joshua 19:1, and the second lot came forth to Simeon, even for the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families, and their inheritance was within the inheritance of the children of Judah. All right. Oh, let me see if I can, let's do this. I always forget. All right, Shemaiah 1. Okay, so, well, this might not help. I may have to go and find it. Okay, wait. What happened? What happened? Oh no, I just saw what I wanted. He just jumped on me. There we go. All right, that's what I wanted right there. The map. All right. So, you see Simeon, then you see Judah. All right, because we've covered, started with Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh on the east of the Jordan. Then we covered Manasseh on the west of the Jordan. If I'm correct, we covered Issachar. Ephraim, of course, we covered Ephraim because Ephraim and Manasseh are the brothers. Those were in the same chapters, which was a very short chapter. So West Manasseh, East Manasseh, West Manasseh, Ephraim, Benjamin. I think we covered Dan and Issachar. All right. So now it's mentioning Simeon. All right. So I can't remember if we got Asher, Naphtali, and Zebulun yet. I don't think we did. All right. But then you also have Simeon and if I'm correct, we covered Judah. But we'll see. We'll see as we go on, because it tells us anyways at the subheading. All right. So now, so we're looking at the map, so we know what we're looking at. It says, and their inheritance was within the inheritance of the children of Judah, just like the map showed, right? And they had in their inheritance Beersheba, or Sheba, and Moladah, and Hazar Shual, and Bala, and Azim, and El-Talad, and Bethul, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Beth Machabath, and Hazar Susah, and Beth Lebaoth, and Sharuhin, 13 cities and their villages, Ain, Rimmon, and Ether, and Ashan, 4 cities and their villages, and all the villages that were round about these cities, to Baalath Beer, Ramoth of the south. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families. All right. So it says, out of the portion of the children of Judah was the inheritance of the children of Simeon. Going back to the map, we shows you how Simeon's lands were inside Judah, right? It says, for the part of the children of for the part of the children of Judah was too much for them. Therefore, the children of Simeon had their inheritance within the inheritance of them. All right, it's basically saying that, because if you looked at the map, Judah had a big portion of land there, and it was so big that the portion of land that belonged to the Simeonites had to be within the borders of the Judites. All right, so that makes sense, when breaking it down and looking at the map. So now it says territory of Zebulun. So we will write about Zebulun. All right, so it says, and the third lot came up for the children of Zebulun according to their families, and the border of their inheritance was unto Sarid. Okay, and the border went up toward the sea of Maralah and reached Dabasheth and reached to the river that is before Ch.19. All right, let's see if we can find some of this stuff here. We just saw the map, but it's not a map I can pull back and forth through the screen. I have to keep going back in. The city of Canaan conquered by Joshua, the territory of Zebulun, but allotted to the Merarite Levites and located uh, Mount Carmel. Nation, people, kindred, power none. Chant a dirge, chant well on it. A place in Palestine. Towards the sea of Mara. I see if we can find this here. Actually, we can grab this. Okay, that's better. I guess it doesn't really matter which map we use. So, I mean, you see what we're looking at here. So you see Simeon, Judah. All right, I'm trying to get this thing to zoom on to the top portion. There you go. All right, Zebulun, Asher, Naphtali. All right, you see that is in the north. Okay, and notice, come on, this thing is, I want to do right. There we go. Come on. I'm trying to, all right, trying to show something. So you see right here where it says Tyre, and above that it says Sidon. All right, that lets you know this is modern day Lebanon. All right, that portion right there. Lebanon will be sitting on. I'm not sure if it'll cover some of Zebulun, but if I'm correct, definitely modern day Lebanon will cover Asher and Naphtali. All right, so all these nations. That's why we always mention State of Israel, West Bank, Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan. All right, all these are sit on the lands that belong to the Israelites. And when you look at the full scope of our land, it's even bigger than that. All right, you have to include other places like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, all that ancient Mesopotamia, all that area over there, all that land. All right, even over to the Nile River in Egypt. Okay, so all those nations are on our land because the Lord allotted that to us. But this is just a portion that we lived on at this particular point. But the scope of the full land is actually a lot bigger. All right, so let's go back. It says, and their border went up toward the sea and Maralah and reached to Dabasheth and reached to the river that is before Ch.19 and turned from Sarid eastward toward the sun rising unto the border of Chisloth-tabor, and then goeth out to Dabarath and goeth up to Japhia, and from thence passeth on along on the east, all right, to Gittah Hefer, to Ittah Chazin, and goeth to Rimmon Methor, to Nia, and the border compasseth it on the north side to Hanathon, excuse me, and the outgoings thereof are in the valley of Jephthahil, right? And Katah, and Nahalal, and Shimron, and Idalah, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. Excuse me. Here's what Shimron goes into. Watch height. Shimron will just watch. So it says, no, actually, what? Well, I guess watch, but keep. Anyways, and Katah, and Nahalal, and Shimron, and Adalah, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Zebulun, according to their families. These cities were their villages. All right. Okay, so we didn't cover Issachar. Was it sure? So, and this is a bigger chapter than all the previous chapters. They're covering actually a lot of territories. Several tribes in this chapter. All right, so it's going to be bigger than some of our previous chapters. So, territory of Issachar. All right, so-called Mexicans, right? And the fourth lot came out to Issachar for the children of Issachar according to their families. And their border was toward Jezreel, and Chesulloth, and Shunem, and Hapharaim, and Shion, and Anaharath, and Rabith, and Kishion, and Abez, and Remeth, and Enganim, and Enhadah, and Beth Paziz. And the coast reached to Tabor, and Shahazimah, and Beth Shemesh. And the outgoings of the border were at Jordan, 16 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Issachar, according to their families, the cities and their villages. All right. I'm gonna see if I can pull up. Actually, I probably won't be able to do it. Let's do this. I don't want the number. Let's just pull up. All right. So we just looked at Issachar's land. Okay. You see what Issachar is right there. It's a nice map, like the colors. All right. So same map we're looking at. All right. Jeffy is real. Mount Tabor, Zebulon. All right. So Simeon. All right. And then what? Zebulon. I think it was Zebulon we covered. Now Issachar. And so Asher and Naphtali. All right. If I'm correct, those are the only two left. I believe we already covered everything else. I wasn't sure about Issachar though. All right. So this is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Issachar according to their families, the cities, and their villages. All right, territory of Asher. All right, and the fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher according to their families. Actually, what was it said 7? So that's the fifth lot, and there must be 2 more. Anyways, we'll get to it. And the fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher according to their families. And the border was Helkath, and Halai, and Beten, and Achshaph, and Elimelech, and Ahmad, and Mishael, and reach it to Carmel westward, and to Shahar Libnath. Right? It says, and turneth toward the sun rising to Beth Dagon, and reaches to Zebulun, and to the valley of Jiphthahel, toward the north side of Bethemech and Neiel, and goeth out to Kabul on the left hand, and Hebron and Rehob and Haman and Kanah, even unto great Zidon. Now, once again, as I mentioned before, in one of our previous sessions here, is these city names are not being recorded just for sake of being recorded. All right, this is important for understanding the territory of each tribe. All right, and if you were from that tribe, you were automatically allotted to a portion of land in that territory. All right, so it's very important knowing the boundaries of your particular tribe's lands. All right, because if not, you're going to spill over into another tribe's lands, and that's not right. All right. So yeah, these cities aren't being named just for sake of being named. These are actually marking the boundaries, right? The territories. And the scriptures say, "Remove not the ancient landmark," and that's exactly what. Not just because we often mention Esau, but not just Esau, because you have different nations living on all parts of our land, man. So they've all removed our ancient landmarks, our borders, the lands that were, named after the tribes, and now living by their own modern day names and their nations. All right, State of Israel, West Bank, Syria, Gaza, Lebanon, Jordan, so on and so forth. All right, so they removed our ancient landmarks to place their cities and their people in it. All right, and Hebron and Rehob and Haman and Kanah, even unto the great Zidon, and which we just saw. All right, and then the coast turned to Ramah and to the strong city Tyre. All right, that's what we just talked about. All right, that's southern modern day Lebanon. All right, on the coast of the Mediterranean. And the coast turneth to Hosah, and the outgoings thereof are at the sea from the coast of Achazib. Umah also, and Aphek, and Rehob, 22 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Asher, according to their families, these cities with their villages. All right. Now it says territory of Naphtali. The sixth lot came out to the children of Naphtali, even for the children of Naphtali according to their families. All right. So that's why it's saying that. All right. Because this territory that we're about to go over, it's for you guys. All right. Now you're all one big family. All right. But you're separated by tribes. All right. So that's why this says it at the top of every, tribal territory. All right. This is the lot of your inheritance right here. Okay. And their coast was from Halef, from Elon, and Zaananim, and Adami, Nekeb, and Jabneel unto Lechem, and the outgoings thereof were at Jordan. And then the coast turneth westward to Aznot-Tabor, and goeth out from thence to Hukok, or whatever, uh, Hukok, and reacheth to Zebulun on the south side, and reacheth to Asher on the west side, and to Judah upon Jordan toward the sun rising. And the fenced cities are Ziddim, Zer, and Hamath, Rakath, Chinnereth, and Adama, and Ramah, and Hazor, and Kadesh, and Edrei, and in Hazor, and Iron, and Migdalel, and Horem, and Bethanath, and Beth Shemesh, 19 cities within their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, according to their families, the cities, and their villages. I'm just curious what this word says. All right. Yara 1. Yara 1. Site unknown. And I'll see if I can light this up one last. Up. Can I get it? There you go. Just going back there to the map again. All right, so you see, hold on. You see Naphtali. All right. Issachar, Zebulun, Asher, Naphtali, Simeon. Okay. Now it says territory of Dan. Okay, Dan's what we missed. I thought we covered Dan already. All right, Dan. So it says, and we just saw Dan. So, and the seventh lot came out for the tribe of the children of Dan, according to their families, and the coast of their inheritance was Zorah, and Eshtaol, and Ershemesh, and Shaalabim, and Ajalon, and Jethlah, and Elon, and Elon. All right, Thimnathah, and Ekron. All right, which we talk about Ekron. Ekron was one of those 5 major Canaanite cities there. And Eltekeh, and Gibbethon, and Baalath, and Jehud, and Benabarak, and Gathrimmon, and Mijakon, and Rakon, with the border before Japho. And the coast of the children of Dan went out too little for them. Therefore the children of Dan went up to fight against Leshem, and took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword. Okay. Leshem, precious stone, a city west of Mount Hermon, also called Laish. All right, and later Dan. Let's see if I grab this one. Yeah, it's blurry. You can see Ekron though, and Gibbethon. It's also blurry. Ish, Caesarea Philippi. So we definitely over there on the coast. Actually, that's another. Wait, let me go back because we're looking at. That's way up north. Yeah, so they're not giving us the exact thing what we're looking for. Because Dan is clearly further south. And they're pointing out 2 Dans. Okay, but it's all good. All right. The older name of Laish is an ancient city mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, described as the northernmost city of the kingdom of Israel. So it's probably, if that's the case, then it's that Dan that we saw in the north okay, which was up there near Naphtali, but we wouldn't have to go and figure all that out. All right. As a matter of fact, because if you grab Mount Hermon, everything's blurry. It says Red Philippi again, Mount Hermon. See, look, Mount Hermon is further north. All right, so Dan. All right. So that's why I said don't get confused by the maps. All right, it's just for a little extra visual as we go. All right. So let's keep going. So it says, and took it and smote it with the edge of the sword, and possessed it and dwelt therein, and called Leshem Dan, after the name of Dan their father. All right, which the word or the name Dan. All right, done a judge. All right, like Daniel's name, Don Ya'ala. All right, uh, judge of the power or the Most High is my judge. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but Don Ya'ala. All right, so Don, a judge. All right. It says, this is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Dan according to their families, these cities with their villages. All right, so Dan, pretty much conquered a little more extra territory there. And when they had made an end of dividing the land for inheritance by their coast, the children of Israel gave an inheritance to Joshua, the son of Nun, among them. All right, that was the leader. All right, according to the word of Yahweh, they gave him the city which he asked, even Timnath Serah in Mount Ephraim, and he built the city and dwelt therein. Let's see if we can go find the old account. Yeah, it's just more of the history there. First Chronicles 7:24, his daughters built no detail, but Judges 2:9 and Joshua 24. It's more of the history, but that's further in the scriptures. All right, and they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath Serah and the Mount Ephraim on the north side of the hill Gaash. All right, same thing here. All right, it says Timnath Serah there, but same thing. All right, so according to the word of Yahweh, they gave him the city which he asked. All right, even Timnath Serah in Mount Ephraim, and he built the city and dwelt therein. And let's see what it says if we can. All right, oh man, Thamanath Harash, Thamanath Harash, Thamanath Harash. All right, portion of the sun or abundant portion. Yeah, abundant portion. All right. A city given to Joshua as inheritance in the mountains of Ephraim on the north of the hill of Gaash, where he was buried. So it just tells you the same thing. Harash. Itch represents sun. You see sun. All right. Portion of the sun. All right. So sun. Uh, portion. All right. So a portion of the sun. All right. Thamanath Harash. All right. Timnath Serah in Mount Ephraim, and he built the city and dwelt therein. These are the inheritance which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel divided for an inheritance by lot in Shiloh before Yahweh at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So they made an end of dividing the country. So because these things were already foresaid, all right, it wasn't just we were wondering maybe he'll get this and they'll get that, and no, this was already ordained. The Lord wanted every tribe to have what portion of land that was already it was already said before, all right. And the inheritance. Let's get the word inheritances right. All right, nachala. I'm sorry, nachala. Possession, property, inheritance. Look, heritage. You see, portion, share, property. See. So there you go. So that's the end of Joshua chapter 19. All right, covering the last tribes to receive their portion. All right, so Lord willing, you will edify. To next thing, Yahshua going to say, Shalom.